Good afternoon and welcome back to the Grace and Grit podcast. Today we're with Raymond.
And Aurora.
Again.
What a nice day though.
Beautiful.
It was nice spending time outside.
It was so good yesterday. We spent the entire day outside. There's a festival.
Food festival.
So amazing.
How was it? Good?
It
Like
was.
the food?
I actually liked it. Everything was like really cheap, of like $5. And there's this one spot. I'm actually gonna I'm gonna plug them in.
Yeah, go for it.
As soon as I got like their
Oh,
Instagram.
is it the bread?
Mm-hmm. They have this Colombian like pancake thing, and it was incredible. I still want to know what it's called. I think it's like PRA. Oh my gosh, I can't find it. I think one of my things went over it. Okay,
It's
that's
okay.
fine.
We can link it in the description.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, anywho, so today I kind of went to bed last night after the whole the whole day, and I was watching some like Claude things and things I wanted to like start doing. But the thing is, I've never used Claude before. I know it's something that's like getting really popular, getting really up there, but you do. Tell them what you like to use in Claude.
I mean, so Claude has three, I guess, categories. It has Claude Chat, Claude Cowork, and then Claude Code. So Claude Chat is like just the normal chat you have with AI, like ChatGPT. But ChatGPT agrees with everything you say. That's the issue. It's
very validating and emotionally intelligent.
Too much. That's the issue. And so Claude is much better that it lets you know, hey, for example, if you have an idea to start a business, how many other businesses are out there? What's going to be new coming from your business? What's original? Why would people want to work with you rather than any other business that's already out there?
Exactly.
So Claude is really good in that sense. Claude Cowork, it's basically such a cheat code that you can connect to other apps. So Google Calendar, Google itself, you can do Google Docs, you can connect all these different apps and just tell Cowork to, hey, I need you to send this email tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. This is what I need you to write. And it'll go through your Gmail and send it to whoever you need to.
So it can do all like that admin work for you.
It can do the admin work, yeah. Even more than that. I mean, I wanted to create like a survey thing where it's like, create a survey for like the idea of an app that I want to build.
Right.
And I put it in and I went on a website. I told it to sign in with my account, sign in with my email, and it created the full survey. And like, it's not just admin work. It does so much work. It's a lot of the nuisance, like the little small things that just take 10 minutes that waste so much time.
I was just thinking, can Claude hook up to Alexa? Do we know?
I'm actually not too sure about that because...
Okay, ChatGPT...
Yeah.
Says that it doesn't directly connect or hook up with it.
Yeah, because Alexa itself is its own AI, so I don't think... if you have Gemini is made by... is with Amazon, I'm pretty sure. So I think if you use Gemini, then you could probably connect, but the other AIs probably do not.
Gotcha. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So can we talk to it? Like, how in ChatGPT you press that talking function?
Yeah, it has the voice features. It has all the same features. It's a better version of ChatGPT. That's it.
It says that Gemini can't even connect to Alexa.
Oh, it can.
But that would be really cool for like an upgrade for whoever's developers watching this.
Especially in the future because everyone has like a home speaker.
Technology like this. Exactly. So for people who are just starting to get off on wanting to start with Claude or Gemini or whatever, and they're trying to figure out how to use these more complex systems, because you have ChatGPT, very basic, you have all these different like features. You have Gemini, a little bit better on quality for photos and videos, I would say. Like every AI has like a certain like function. Even Perplexity is really nice, but Claude I find is a much more like higher end developer type of AI. How do you combat how do you first learn how to actually use and implement these things? And like what's training you, what's teaching you? Because you and me both know that we're not going to go out and get a university degree and be like, oh, how do I use Claude? Oh, how do I use AI? Like, I think the days of university and getting these qualifications are kind of over. What people more or so want to see is the results. Like, show me the results over the qualifications.
100%. I mean, I saw it on TikTok. I think I told we were talking about it, where TikTok is just social media in general, YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram. You can find everything you want out. I was using ChatGPT, and then I saw a post on TikTok about Claude and how it's so much better and all the things you can do. So I switched. And then obviously about the app that I was talking about, I was putting it into to Claude and using co-work along with it to be like, oh, how do I get this? Create this for me, go on the Lovable app and just do whatever needs to be done. And any issues that I had with the code in Lovable, you just copy and paste into Claude. It fixes it, it gives you a prompt, you put it back into Lovable, and then it fixes the issue on Lovable.
Nice.
So it's just AI and AI going back and forth with each other. It's pretty funny.
I love it.
Yeah, and it did take a while. It was during work, but I was on my lunch, and I just stayed at Starbucks for like 2.5 hours. I'm like, fuck it, my boss doesn't care.
Figure it out.
Yeah, and I was just going back and forth with Claude and Lovable, doing AI prompt, putting into Lovable, back and forth the issues, because there's always some issues, and it's just so much better. I wouldn't be able to do any of this, even if I was watching a YouTube video. Even if there was a coder here with me telling me what to do, I wouldn't be able to do it.
It's so great because it's so fascinating about how in our generation, Gen Z, how we're able to not only have that outlook of, okay, everyone just finished university, but AI is at that certain extent where it literally has taken over. So I just saw the recent news that Disney fired like 1,000 employees, and they have AI taking over their jobs, even like engineers and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, that is scary, interesting. Now I'm like, I've always been like a Disney fan. I really, truly am. But this has got me a little bit emotional.
Yeah.
On more of a passionate side. Anyways, so when it comes to that, sorry, I just got a phone call. When it comes to that side, and about how AI is taking over, I think the future is going to lie mostly in AI making its own businesses. And do you think we as customers are going to be buying from AI? Like, it's going to come to that point where customers, humans, are making purchases from AI, and then where does that leave us?
I mean, we already are. There's an AI artist out there that makes AI music, and it was in the top 10 charting songs.
You're kidding.
So people are listening to AI music of real people. But
I thought there was like a policy though that like there had to be like a certain like.
No, there's a policy of you can't use AI to recreate songs like a Rihanna song.
Yeah.
But this is an actual AI artist with her own name, like original name, and the company is using AI to make her sing and make music and posting it as a song from an artist, which I think is terrible because when it comes to the creative parts of humanity, like music, art, I don't think you should use AI for that because it's very original to people, and that's where I think the issue lies. So people are listening to it, and I'm like, you guys are crazy. Like, we have actual music out there. I mean, maybe it's good, but even then, we're already buying into the whole idea of, buying from AI. Basically,
it's like plastic.
It's like it really is. It's not real.
I'll tap in on that. So I actually used to be, when I first heard AI music, I was like, there's no way. And it was a remix between like a Rihanna voice with like a Pitbull type of like, swagger to it. I fell in love. Like, this was actually hitting so hard on my workouts because I was using this to fuel me, and it had this like grind to like this grit, I was really enjoying it. And I used to put in my Zumba classes a little bit and be like, okay, here's AI. This is AI music, like partially of it. And then I went on a cruise where there were these people who are pianists and trumpet players, and honestly, they didn't play perfectly. They didn't. And honestly, sometimes I was judging them silently, about how, they can improve their playing, they can improve, this and that. I feel like it's a characteristic of being human that everything shouldn't be perfect. And that's what's such a great thing that we can debate over, because people can perfectly place imperfections, which makes a piece perfect.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting, complex discussion. And so when I came back from the cruise and I started listening to AI music, I hated it. It didn't sound the same, didn't feel the same. There was no gravity.
And that's the thing where it comes. I mean, you take something as stocks, people that buy and sell stocks and trade crypto. People are using AI to predict and do this. So
take a picture, put it in.
It's going to come to the point where they create a trading company and it's ran by AI agents. And they're trading and crypto or whatever it may be. And obviously because they're AI, they can analyze better and analyze all the different predictions and ways it can go. It's just such a crazy world out there. It's terrifying to the extent that, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people that do lose their jobs. Because it goes two ways. Either one, humanity comes to the point where robots take over everything in terms of all the work, and we don't need to do anything, so we have more free time. But I don't think the government. I don't think the government like. People say that, and it's like, oh, so the government would, get AI to do all the work, and humans wouldn't have to. First of all, I don't trust the government to do all that. Realistically, I don't trust the government now. Second, it could go the other way where we're just out of jobs, and because it's much easier to program AI to tell a robot what to do rather than pay a guy $80,000 a year to do the same job. That's the worst way, obviously. But either way, if we have too much free time on our hands, where's that going to end with people?
Where's our own fulfillment coming from?
Yeah.
So I feel like we do get fulfillment from struggling. We get fulfillment from accomplishing something that we previously had so much difficulty in. Even having that knowledge, like learning.
Yeah.
I still think back to, my university, my high school days when I would study so hard and I had that determination, that focus, and that grit to really keep on going because it was me pushing me. But now it's like without those like structures in place or even like that pressure or those abilities to be challenged like that, like how will we be challenged in the future? How will that pressure be put on if it's our own mentality that's
the thing. I mean,
that in a plastic
stress
world?
isn't a burden. There's different types of stresses, obviously, but stress isn't a burden. It should push you to be better. And when you don't have anything to work up towards, and you have so much free time, I think that'll cause more issues because humans, at least from what I've seen, I don't want a lot of free time on my hands. If I'm awake in the day, I want to be doing something. So if I'm not doing something all day, or if I'm just have this free time and be home alone or just at home, it's gonna suck. Mentally it'll destroy your mental, in my opinion. It can happen. So I just think going that route of where AI takes over everything in the sense of all productivity and work, and we just have free time on our hands, it's not going to be good. And you've even seen in movies and books where, it goes the right way, where AI, does all the work. But no matter what, that doesn't create a perfect society because there's always going to be something. We're in a perfect utopia where everything is perfect and everyone has what they want. Someone's going to kill someone just because it's the stress, it's the adrenaline, it's everything. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. Humans don't want a perfect life. They don't want everything to be solved for them.
Yeah.
You have to solve it on your own, and that's where you get fulfillment. And then you keep going because it's never ending. There's nothing perfect. Perfection, there's only God is perfect. Other than that, everyone's working towards the goal, but you can never achieve the goal because none of us have that in us.
I was kind of thinking and questioning a couple of things about, business, AI, and how humans fit in. Do you ever think there might become a policy where as we transition into that fully AI business and all these certain type of sectors, do you think there'll be a transition period where the government will be like, there have to be a certain number of workers in your company, so it can't just be fully AI? Do you think they'll ever tap in like that?
I don't think so, because think about it. This is how I see it. Again, I don't trust the government. The government is lobbied by rich people. That's how I see it. So if, Claude is owned by Anthropic, and I think they're top 10 of the S&P 500 now, or top 5, I don't think they would want that policy embedded because that's less money for them.
They wouldn't.
So that's the thing. Even now, there's a bill being passed in Canada, bill I think C-22, where a lot of basically it forces apps or companies that have applications or websites to give them private data that is by people that use it. So example, NordVPN, a VPN company, they're taking their services out of Canada because they don't want to comply with Bill C-22.
I read that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of more apps and companies that remove themselves from Canada, because if Bill C-22 or whatever it's called gets embedded, it's going to force any apps and these companies and businesses to give the government data on people. Mm-hmm. I don't trust that. It's the government. Like, why do they need that? For safety? That's crazy. That is close to dictatorship as we can get here, by forcing a company to give private data from its users to the government. I don't like that. That's invasion of privacy, first of all. So I just don't see a use of that. Because Instagram, for example, Instagram would have to give them chats.
What I find a little interesting, though, is that we are freely giving our information, our privacy, over to ChatGPT, over to Claude, over to Perplexity, all these different AIs. So they know practically, I wouldn't say everything, but so much revealing information. And for one company to have all that privacy, all that things stood up to them, they could go ahead and do anything with it. However, if they did give it to the government, or if the government were to seize it for whatever companies that are currently here, how would they take that information? Or would they even, I wonder what policies currently exist right now in terms of our privacy, because that bill that currently just got.
Yeah, you know what I think it leads to? In the Europe, I think it's just the UK for now, or they have digital ID coming. So it's basically, digital ID is you are linked to a digital number and all your data and information. So if you get pulled over, they can find your digital ID.
Scan my eye.
Whatever it may be, or however they get it, but digital ID, it'll lead to, it basically locks you into all your information, driver's license, passport, so social SIN number.
It'd be a little bit more helpful instead of me having to carry around on my cards.
Yes,
however,
but I don't trust the government.
Exactly.
It leads to them having all this information, and then you can't even escape from that realistically. Like, you're stuck with that, and generations down the line, whatever it may be, it'll most likely be linked to your kids after that, whatever, going down. There's a lot of people that say it's useful for things like that. It's the government. I just don't trust the government. The idea of a government is to help its people. Governments don't do that.
I don't feel like
they really don't. And even you take America, the Second Amendment was was for the people to defend themselves against the government. But obviously, it's to bear arms, as the Second Amendment. The forefathers put that in there to, if the government ever became corrupt, the people can fight back by killing them, or fighting against them. I like the idea of that, but obviously it's come to the point where they have such a big army and the technological advancements that it doesn't really matter. But it's still the idea.
It's like the Civil War, though.
I mean, this is the issue. It's not going to lead to that because people aren't willing to. No.
What was happening but however, this is from a Canadian news standpoint of what we have been fed, which is different, happens a lot more than
propaganda.
Exactly, in the U.S., but they showed us that there was a civil war going on in the U.S. recently.
But it's not
the past 4 years.
It's not enough, though. The issue is, for you to fight for your rights and for you to fight against the government, most likely it'll cause you to sacrifice your life. Realistic. If it comes to the point when it happened during COVID,
I also feel like we're just so divided right now,
so
that we wouldn't be able to unite like that.
If you go back to the trucker convoy during COVID, and people got their banks accounts seized with all their money by the government, I personally think whoever, if it was me, I was a kid, so I guess I didn't have an idea of what was really going on. You should have petitioned, brought as many people, thousands of people, to the parliament and stormed the parliament. Not to the extent to kill someone, but you have to stand against that. Like, they took all the money from the trucker convoy, like people's bank accounts. And they're still in court fighting against the government, being like, this was against our rights, which it was. At least that's what I believe. So it comes to the point where, 200 years ago, you would go fight against the government or fight in the Civil War. But I don't think we have it in us as a civilization anymore to fight against the government to the point where you're physically going there and you might die to fight for your rights. That's how bad it's gonna get, because people don't want to sacrifice their lives. Obviously, everyone wants to live. No one wants to sacrifice themselves for an idea. And second, you just don't have enough people that want want it bad enough.
Now, talking on that ideal right there, when the world gets, it's when at this point, taken over by AI, it's something that is imaginary. You know, you can't physically, unless it's like a robot,
if you've seen Terminator 2.
No, I have.
Yeah, it's basically
so it would be getting to all those systems. However, the way that they're storing these systems, like, they have to be in certain controlled temperatures. You know, there's a lot of like requirements to keep this technology upkeep, right? Especially with our limiting resources that it takes. RAM right now is up. You know,
oh my God.
I think they would have to find a different resource or different like materials.
A different way to power it. RAM is expensive, and obviously people want RAM just to build their computers and play games. But if Gemini or Anthropic needs hundreds of thousands of RAMs or millions of pieces of RAM to run, the AI centers, I think eventually they'll just stop having it as a consumer item. Because if AI needs it more and there's so many people that use it, I think it will come to that where maybe for a period of time they just stop selling RAM in general. Because already, who's going to spend $1,500 on 2 sticks of 16 gigabyte pieces of RAM? That's insane. When I was working in Canon Computers, it was, I think, 32 gigs of RAM was like $150.
Really?
It's gone up, 100x?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's so bad. And now SSDs as well. Like, it's gone up to, I think, 1 terabyte is like $500.
So weird. I saw this one person like melting down SSD cards because it has like gold on it.
Yeah.
Like used ones, and I'm like, damn.
Smart, but it's just so bad. I guess it's evolution. We're at the point where we're just going on, and whatever happens, somehow they'll try to figure out a way to fix it in the sense of, how do we get the prices down? What do we do? Because that's just how it's going to evolve. But
so how do you combat that? So like you are very like, you do think about the future, but you're also very much in the present. How do you combat that, knowing what's going to happen? I know your mentality is very much like, oh, like I'm going to be rich by all means necessary,
It's either that or I move to Thailand and just live there. What am I going to do in the North America? Like realistically, it just sucks because I do think about the future a little bit, but I try to stay in the present as much as I can because that's how you really focus. And when you think about the future, you get anxious. And when you think about the past, you start being regretful, and it's just really bad mentally. But for now, it's just taking it day by day. But in the sense of, 2030, let's just say that 2030 is 4 years away, which sounds so crazy. That's so bad.
It was literally 2020, like yesterday.
Yeah. But I honestly, I don't even know in that sense. Like, I am so, not clueless, but you can't fight it. This is multi-billion dollar corporations. You can't fight against that. Cause
I think there will be communities, though, because there already is a very strong community of anti-AIers.
Yeah. I mean, even, I wouldn't say I'm anti-AI, but the way that...
We're definitely not anti-AI. The way that we use it and abuse it...
But it's the way that it's going to be used, where if they implement it in every device across the world, and you have the government using it in their government facilities, I mean...
You know what's one thing I think is so beautiful, though? I definitely think the future is going to revolve around, like, families buying a plot of land, gardening themselves, and, like, basically making themselves live self-sufficiently. And I think that's literally doing a complete 180 from how we went from, everyone used to do that 100 years ago, getting their own food, doing their own thing, and then they put in like computers and technology, and over the past 20 years and then 40 years, things have flung open into some automations and doing this, so it's definitely going to snowball and do a 180.
History repeats itself. That's the thing.
Oh my
it's true.
Goodness, yeah.
History, eventually it's going to lead to the point where we just would rather be self-sufficient and make our own food. And
but you know what's even crazier, now that I'm thinking about this too, is that ancient history, we still don't know how they made the damn pyramids, and how they made all these like materials so strong and how things have lasted for 100 years. They must have had this technology.
Or some technology.
It got wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I mean, with how many things we
think AI will eventually get wiped off the face
in history, I would assume so. I wouldn't say they had technology to our extent.
No.
But they were probably very smart.
I wouldn't say that they would have technology to our extent, just not the same technology.
Or same type, yeah.
We still, to this day, cannot make things as strong as they did in ancient Europe, and across, Spain, the old world, like crazy, right?
Yeah. A lot of the roads and everything is still the same over 100 years. And
crazy. We still don't have that technology. We're still trying to uncover it. The recipe, the secret sauce.
We're never going to. It was the aliens. Let's just say that. Oh, I talked about aliens. The American government, they were basically just talking. Like, it's gone so bad, like everything in the world, that they were talking about releasing some files of UFOs. Unidentified. What a UFO.
They're going to make the alien enthusiasts very, very happy.
And okay, I believe in aliens, but they're doing it. See, you gotta think of why now. Why is anything happen at a specific time? For example, I'm using this example when Diddy. I'm just saying they had videos of him from 15 years ago doing whatever he was doing, but they released it 2 years ago.
Talk about it. What was he doing?
So I don't know. It's actually bad, like in terms of like with kids. Yeah.
That's all you have to say.
Yeah. So they had all this evidence on him 15, 20 years ago, but they decided to release...
court? Media?
Whoever. I'm not sure, but whoever, they decided to release those videos now, 2 years ago. And now he's facing all these allegations and charges and he's in jail right now.
Well, he's out to a certain extent of fame,
Yeah. So you always, at least for me, I always have to think, why now? So why is the government now releasing UFOs? Or like the evidence of UFOs? So I'm like, one, no, they don't care about the people because they could have released it 10, 15 years ago. So I think it comes to the point with everything happening in the world right now, like the war, and just a bunch of things with America and, a certain country that will not be named because I don't think we can name it. It's just, it comes
to... What do you mean? Why couldn't we name that country?
I don't think so.
Yeah. But why?
I'll tell you later. Because I'd have to cut this out, so it's too much work.
Okay.
But it's in the sense of why are they releasing now? A lot of people think they want to take, the whole like what people are looking at and put it to something else. Again, like Jeffrey Epstein. No one's talking about him anymore.
But that's because of the media team. They very strategically, like, they just not deny, not that.
Yeah.
But they just wouldn't answer anything. And then when you get a certain type of resistance and it keeps on coming at you, and you know that you can't actually get through the barrier, people just let it go.
But again, with the whole Epstein files that they released, it's crazy because I remember seeing on the internet, social media, 15 years ago, whatever, people talking about quote unquote Epstein files.
And it was all like
we don't know if it's what theory, like Epstein Island and whatever, maybe everything that happened on that. And even now, with all the files released and whatever it may be, nobody got indicted, nobody got sent to jail, nothing happened to anybody that was included in those files. Do you know how crazy that is? And now nobody's talking about it. Like,
apparently he died.
Apparently he died. Apparently he committed suicide in prison. I doubt it. It's just, I think it's just an overload of everything. Like, the addiction of your phone. For me, okay, everyone has a phone addiction.
Yep.
Realistically.
Yep.
I can say, yes, I do have a phone addiction. At least I am aware. What I've been trying to do that I saw online as well is just every time, like you have your phone, you already know, swipe up and you already know where the apps are. I've just been switching apps everywhere. I've been randomizing everything between like the main tab that I have that has all my apps, just randomizing it all. Yeah. So when I take it out, I get it wrong. So I gotta look at the phone, use my brain, be like, okay, it's right here, press it. I just keep randomizing it because it's so bad.
Do you think it's better? Because like you still know what it looks like. You still know what you're doing. It takes you more time.
Yeah.
But you're consciously looking for it instead of being subconscious.
I would rather consciously look for it than subconscious. The fact that it's become subconscious, that's the issue. That's where the issue lies. And again, I can say that
you can change the conscious faster than the subconscious. Is that what you're saying?
I can not defend myself from it, but I would rather make it harder for myself at that point, because the fact that it's that subconscious to me to do that, it's bad. It's so bad. And the whole idea of the reason, again, why I'm doing that is because it's an addiction. I'm trying to combat, because I have to use my phone, like work, whatever it may be, you have to use it.
Exactly. We're always on it now.
Exactly. And so I want to make it as hard as possible. Oh, if I'm going to go, I already know where my Instagram is, so I just click on it, or TikTok. So I'm just randomizing the shit out of it every day or every other day when I get used to it. Because 2-3 days, I get used to where it is. Yeah. So then I got to switch it up. It's just so bad, and that addiction that everyone has.
So with that addiction, you mention a lot of addictions all the time. Like you've mentioned, smoking, alcohol as like addiction. So food, yes. Yeah. There's a lot of times where like it's a limiting belief that's behind it. So for example, it's like, it's our thoughts. It literally is our thoughts. Yeah. So looking at cognitive behavioral therapy, it's our perceptions of the world, which forms our thoughts, which includes our limiting beliefs, which then goes to our mood, then our behaviors, et cetera, there you get the pattern, right? So when it comes to, let's say an addiction about, what do you want to do? Alcohol?
Sure.
Yeah, let's say alcohol. Let's say behind it, their own limiting belief is they get into this thought that I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Or they keep on going back into this memory of the same feeling, the same perception, right? And they want to fall into this habit, being alcohol, to numb that certain feeling, or to kind of get over. There's like an itch in your brain that you just want to scratch, right? And it's that alcohol. Like we're programmed to go to that habit immediately to get that comfort, right? So it is very hard for an individual to change their thoughts. Now, I know that you're not a therapist.
I'm not.
And no, you're not like psychological.
I am not no professional. I think I know the workings of subconscious and conscious better than most people.
You did a lot of work, and you spent a shit ton of money.
Yeah, and so
because of your back.
Yeah, when it comes to that, this is the thing. Most people are controlled by their brain. I believe I do control my brain. Like if I come to the point where, again, alcohol. I don't have an addiction. I drink wine, but I don't crave that every day. Smoking. We were talking about smoking. Cigars. When it comes to that, yeah, if I'm at a nice place or whatever, drinking wine, and I do smoke a cigar, but I don't have an urge or craving to do it every single day or smoke a cigarette because they're so similar. So the whole idea for me, subconscious and conscious mind, is you need to break whatever habits you have. When I was overweight, the habit was eating 5 meals a day and eating junk food, whatever it may be.
Well, it's funny because that's actually that's at the very end of the tunnel. That's the behavior that you're exhibiting. That's the habit, right? So it's you can break a habit by simply just like not doing it. But what do you replace it with? But it still doesn't get rid of that limiting belief or that thought that you have or that constant mood that triggers it, right?
But
how do you get rid of that?
For most people, for me, it's just binary. It's right or wrong. Is eating 5 meals a day right? No.
So why did that change happen for you? Like, how did it start? Well, actually, you were forced into it.
I was forced into it, so I can't really give the whole...
It was change out of necessity.
Yeah, out of, my back, and I had to do a lot of things to change. So that was, I guess, the part for me that changed. But again, for people, that let's just say you're overweight and you want to lose weight, but you keep eating because that's just the habit you have. It's wrong. Like, same thing as cheating. Like, if you're in a relationship, cheating is wrong.
I hate that.
You know it's wrong.
When people are working from home, which is a large part of the population now, they're in an environment where there's nothing to put pressure or to support them or to have that challenging for them to do something, right? Yeah. So as you work in coffee shops a lot, you get out of the house.
It's very self-managing. Like, I'm not in the office at all realistically, besides once a month or once every 2 months. Other than that, I talk to my product manager and I do my own thing, which I think is the best type of work because I can just be on my own. I know what I'm doing, get the work done, and then that's about it. But most of the time I'm driving across the GTA Or again for lunch, or if I have something to do on my Mac, I just go to Starbucks or go to a coffee shop and just do it. Get a double espresso, water, get it all done. Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. I'm always busy from 8:30 in the morning to when I'm finished, which is usually around 4 or 5 o'clock. And then again, I drive home, and then I go on a walk, or I'm editing, or I'm doing something, or on Claude and just working on other things, learning how to Claude, use coding.
Like curiosity.
Yeah, people. That's the thing where again, it was a lot of social media, a lot of certain influencer, Andrew Tate, obviously, which I will say again, you can agree with some things of what a person says, but you don't have to agree with everything. I do agree with a good amount what he says in terms of working hard. And that's that David Goggins, when I was losing the weight, that push, that mentality. Because even if you hear David Goggins, he is very much so just A or B, yes or no. And where it was one where he was talking about just talking to someone saying, "Oh, if somebody calls you fat, it's probably because you're fucking fat." Like it's that's all it is, And
wait. You can say that maybe to a certain extent. However, guys can be douches. Like
that's true. Yeah, if you're saying it in a sense of to be disrespectful, that's a different thing. Yeah. Like to be an asshole. Like for me,
I've heard some guys like around for like, they'd be calling girls like, of course, the bitches.
Yeah.
The things like
that's just disrespectful.
Yeah, they are.
It's just that thing.
That's why I don't like to be around those type of people.
You shouldn't say obviously, but in the sense of, again, for me, one of my friends asked me, "How do I lose weight?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I told him exactly how, and then a few days later, he posts on his story eating Chick-fil-A. So I'm like, you don't really want it, and so then when he came back to me to ask me again, I'm like, no. Because you're just wasting my time. So I just said, no, I'm not going to help you. Because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of effort, honestly. If you don't want it bad enough, then just be stuck with who you are. Like you're happy enough with where you are. And that's what I think is the most important thing, where, again, Andrew Tate said this, where most people, even if they say they're not happy with where they are, they're happy with, if they're not doing anything about it, they're happy with where they are in life, whether it's money, whether it's how they look, whether it's who they are.
Let's take it back to, so you were like forced to make this change, right? Which was a really good change. Like things always happen for a reason. However, let's take something that you have like right now. Let's say the phone.
Yeah.
But like not like you are productive on your phone, but then we have things like we love anime.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's say anime.
Yeah.
If you had to quit anime because you know that it's like maybe just unhealthy, you know, you should be doing something with your life, how would you start actually making that conscious decision to stop it? What would you replace it with? What would be your step-by-step process?
So okay, for example,
delete the app. Yeah,
so Crunchyroll is where you watch, like that's the main app where you watch animes. Delete the subscription. Like that's what I did when I had to, again, change. I sold my video games. I got rid of the physical connection to said addiction. So to delete Crunchyroll, delete the app, delete the subscription.
Here's the thing. Our brain likes to turn itself and make sales, like sell itself into doing the bad thing. So for example, let's say when you're watching Crunchyroll, you're like, oh no, but I really want to learn how to speak Japanese, and that's why I'm watching this, even though you never actually ended up doing that. Or like, oh, I get so many amazing ideas, or I feel so good and so inspirational after, it does so much good to me because I am so inspired by what it gives me. When when we're looking at it from that viewpoint and we have that mentality, that prevents us from deleting the app. But again, how do you combat those barriers?
It comes to the point where it's all about like your will. Like that's what how strong your will is. Because I know when I'm bullshitting myself. If I'm doing something, I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm bullshitting. I'm making an excuse for myself. It's just bullshit because I'm, again, an excuse, let's say, to watch anime. One, I've never met anyone that watches anime and learn Japanese from anime. If you want to learn Japanese, go on, I don't know, what's that?
Duolingo?
Or go to Japan and live there for a few months. You'll learn Japanese that way.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. So everyone should come to the point where like, yeah, that's a lie. Inspiration, I'll give it that. There are some animes, I think we talked about this, where it actually does have a good life lesson and story and storytelling and teaches you, a lot of inspirational things. I've gotten some inspirational like things of how to carry myself and whatever, like how I want to be by some anime characters because they're just written so well. So that one's okay, but read books. There's a lot of books that have great characters. Read books from philosophers. So it's, again, it just leads to the point where people don't want to break off. I think the most important thing about an addiction is the physical connection.
Gabriel, you've been doing such a good job. It's time to go back to work, though, for
Nice.
a bit.
Okay. Good job.
What a good mom.
Yeah. But I think the main thing for addictions is the physical connection. Smoking, a cigarette in your hand. Alcohol, drink. Gaming, you're physically sitting down for hours and just wasting your time. So with everything, I think there is a physical. Again, your phone. If you have an addiction with anime, it's through your phone. Put a time limit on your phone for an hour a day. So you only have to use your phone, or you can now set certain apps that you can't access.
Yeah.
Do that. So when people say, I can't stop, no, you just don't want to stop. That's the thing where it leads to is it's not that you can't, it's you don't want to because you're still okay with being where you are. That's what it leads to. I don't know the whole brain and whole mental like ideology and how the whole like what the words are, but it's just about your willpower. Like that's all I can give it.
We should record you like saying all the shit that you do.
Oh my god,
And you just be like every time that this app is like reaching its limit, just like get off your phone. Like the way
honestly
you do
I
it.
should, because even for me, I still use Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, even allegedly when I'm driving, I may or may not be watching. Allegedly.
I know that because yesterday I sent you.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But yeah, so even then, but it leads to the point where, and again, at least I'm aware. At least I'm not lying to myself and lying to other people. That's also one thing. People lie to themselves and be like, it's not an addiction. I can put it down whenever I want. I'm like, yeah, okay, bro.
But you don't. Look at the hours that.
100%. So that's, again, but I'm also productive enough to know that, oh, it's worth it. Like I put in the work. There's a lot of people that don't put in the work. That's make those excuses, which it leads to nothing. And again, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just like I guess, because in spirituality, it's called an awakening when you change. It's a full 180 of who you used to be and your new self. It could be good or bad, a 180 in the negative or the positive sense. But in spirituality, it's called an awakening. I just think, like, in terms of the scientific term, my frontal lobe just developed.
Oh my god.
I think that's just about it. I think my frontal lobe just developed at 21 years old, which is pretty young. I'm assuming guys, they develop later.
It takes you, okay.
I just think my frontal lobe developed. But in spirituality,
I'll have to quote you. Yeah. We'll get back to it in like 4 years.
Yeah, right? It's like, oh, more new thing. But I like the idea of spirituality where it's like awakening, where it's a new self. So that to me just seems like a better term than just frontal lobe development.
So you're always saying like, okay, be busy at every single hour, but you have to have work that's driving you, something bigger than yourself, something that's like an overarching goal. And so, yes, we can stop addictions by, reading a book, and have all these things, but those are more like a pastime hobby type of things or things to do to fill the time. How do people find that fulfillment of what they should be doing in the future or what they should be building, in terms of like, let's say like people are working from home and after they're done with their first job, and they have all these hours like to spend, instead of doing this, they could go pick up a second job. Yes.
Yeah.
But it gets to that point where it's like, what if that job's not fulfilling to them or how do they go make up a business or,
I mean, like for me, my second job is bartending. It's not bad, but it's not fulfillment. I just do it because I need money. I'm not waking up every day like, well, I can't wait to bartend, guys, and talk to random people I don't give a fuck about. But it's like I'm doing it because I have to.
Compassion, none.
Yeah, but it's just I'm doing it because I need money. So it's not fulfillment. I get some people want fulfillment in life. And again, if you want that for yourself and you are okay with, again, like when we were talking about living the average life, which is a house, wife, kids, and, making whatever, 80 grand, 100 grand a year, that's fine. But if you want more and you're not doing anything about it, that's where the issue comes where, yeah, you're wasting time when, if you're not working 2 jobs at the prime of your abilities, which is in your 20s, that would say, I was to say, is problem. You have a business, you have 2 businesses that you're putting in the work. That's, you do the gym inside your room. You
phone
do
calls.
Exactly.
Yeah, the gym is in my room. Even get people to join.
And if you're going on a walk, that's productive. That's, that's, helping with brain. That's energy being used. Being outside. That's positive. So
there's going to be some people who are going to be like, oh, but I tried putting the work. And wait, sorry, that sounded very condescending of me. Let me rephrase my tone. There's going to be people who are going to be like, I tried putting in the work, and all these barriers came into place and they really tried to work on it and it didn't come into fruition. So for example, the job market, very terrible right now, so it could be they try to get another job. Or, there's always ways around it, start a new business, maybe I don't know how to. Okay, you can read a book. All these books didn't really lead me into, the correct way. Maybe you didn't read the right book, and then all these, I wouldn't say excuses because people genuinely do try. Even I think AI helps eliminate some of that stress by giving me an action plan. Do based on all these things. And it still doesn't work. What is your...
I just think you just gotta keep trying and trying again. If your goal is to be rich, let's just say that, and you start one thing and it doesn't work out, you just have to keep going until it works, because that's the thing. It's not about what you want to do. Like, you can try and become, I don't know, a public speaker, a very famous public speaker. It might not work out. And if it doesn't work out, then you got to lead to the next thing. You like to talk. Okay, so you do something in videography, or you do something where you're talking a lot. There's a lot of jobs or, things you can go into that contain speaking if you really like speaking that much and you want to follow that path. So I think it just leads to the point where it shouldn't be, again, if you want to be a painter, then that's what it'll take. You might not even make a lot of money in the first few years. Again, some actors, they didn't start acting like being rich until like their 30s or 40s. They've been acting for 20 years. So it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of time that you feel wasted. But in the end, all you need to do is win once. You can lose 100 times, but if you win once, then that's the entry. It makes it all worth it. That's where it leads to other things. And that's where you start gaining that, whether it's popularity, whether it's more money. That's all that matters.
It's so funny. It's kind of like Claude will build it for you, and ChatGPT will emotionally validate you.
ChatGPT is like, ChatGPT is like your mom. It's like my mom. It's like everything. It's like, oh, it's fine. That's perfect. Like she's never
Did I tell you what happened the other day? Literally, I was walking home. It was like 1 a.m. in the morning, and I had this encounter with a homeless individual, I thought it was pretty safe, but I heard the same excuses that I heard before, oh, I'm visiting from this. Actually, I do want to make this aware on the podcast just in case someone else falls into it. This person came up to me like, oh, I'm on vacation here from Victoria, and all my stuff got stolen, and my crazy girlfriend, broke my phone, can I use your phone? Of course, I'm the one who dialed everything, and I have everything on speed dial, so I made sure it was okay. But I heard that story so many times by so many different homeless people that when I came back to my apartment, of course, I stopped, looked around, made sure that it was busy areas, whatever. And I have security, of course, at my building, where I was I went to ChatGPT. I'm like, ChatGPT, am I okay? Has there been any targeters, or have they been using is this a new thing that's happening? I just want to make sure I'm okay. They're not gonna follow me out of my house. And ChatGPT, instead of being searching it, figuring it out, it's it's okay to feel anxious. It's okay. You're okay. You're home now. Everything's fine. I'm like, no, that's not what I asked you.
Yeah.
I think I asked the wrong AI.
It's your AI. Why are you telling me what I feel.
You know?
I'm like, what's going on?
Should I call the police? Should I be like, hey, am I okay? Am I about to be a target?
Yeah.
Am I a future victim?
One thing I did want to talk about, which we talked about a few weeks ago. It's not even a debate, but the whole like seatbelt thing.
Oh my gosh.
I don't realistically. Okay, I've already talked to you about this, but like, I don't think you should be legally forced to wear a seatbelt.
But that's the same way of saying I shouldn't be legally forced to do anything. I shouldn't be legally forced
but this is the idea.
For your own safety.
It's for your seatbelt is for your own safety, right? It doesn't help anyone else, realistically. It's not for the passenger, it's not for the guy walking across the street, whatever it may be, it's for you. I'm in sound mind and body. I have free will. If I don't want to wear a seatbelt... And I want to
abuse it, use it, and confuse it.
Exactly. I shouldn't be forced by law to wear a seatbelt. That was gonna fall. A police officer should not be able to pull me over and give me a ticket. It should not be legally required. Obviously, there's some things, like not going on your phone while driving, which you should not do. That is an offense because it can hurt someone else. You can crash into someone, whatever it may be. You can damage property. You shouldn't be forced to wear a seatbelt because that doesn't affect anything. Nothing besides your own health. I sound crazy, don't I? It doesn't affect anything else. If you're above the age of 18 or you have your G, which usually by 18, 19, or 20, you have your full license.
It's like you should be willing to jump off a cliff and not be submitted into a psych ward.
But you'll die if you jump off a cliff. But that's free will. It's not legal to not jump off a cliff.
But then you'll be admitted to a psych ward.
But you're dead.
If you survive.
A cliff is pretty high up.
Okay, listen. I'm giving the hypotheticals here. You're giving this hypothetical.
But the whole point is it's my free will. Again, if there's a child in the car under 18, yes, force seatbelt 100%. If somebody in the passenger
seat... people's prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed.
That's true.
On your age. Yours still isn't.
I know. I think by the time I'm 30...
mine is.
By the time I'm 30, I'm going to be... I will still stand by this. You should not be forced to wear a seatbelt. That's bullshit. If I'm driving and allegedly speeding and I crash, I die flying throughout the window like a man. I should not be forced to wear a seatbelt. Honestly, because of reverse psychology, I think it would push people to wear a seatbelt.
That's an interesting point.
I think it would.
However, your mom would be emotionally
100%
scarred from that.
I agree.
What about me? What about Tav?
You guys would also be hurt.
What about exactly, so it doesn't just affect you.
However, it's my life. And
So there's no like emotional points for
that?
Emotional
I get that, because
if
any of you were to die, obviously it's emotionally hurting for me as well.
You wouldn't shed a single tear at anyone at funerals.
I don't think
you'd
I
be like, get the alcohol, it's fine, and then you'd be the one shaking it.
I'd be like, oh, drinks for everyone on the house
on the house.
The person. But I just don't think you should be forced to wear a seatbelt. I want to talk to a police officer about this. I don't know when. I'll see one off the street and I'll record it. But I just want to have a discussion with him.
Make sure I'm there to mediate, to prevent you from getting to jail.
He's not gonna do shit, bro. Mm-hmm. I pay his salary. So I just don't think I should be forced to wear a seatbelt. I think I should create a petition to launch this and see how. I think it's gonna be all guys. It's gonna be a bunch of.
You're trolling them.
No, but
You're trolling their time.
I do believe this though. You shouldn't be forced to wear a seatbelt. It's free will. It's like jumping off a cliff. There's no law that says you can't jump off a cliff.
No, but you will be submitted into a psych ward.
I don't think so. Obviously, you'll have doctors come to the hospital to evaluate your mental state. And
then you're wasting someone else's time, resources, So it's not just based on you. In all these, in Canada, because of our healthcare system, it's us who's going to be paying for your dumbass. Well, it does impact me.
We all live in Canada, so.
And then when you go head out of the damn car, and your dumbass brain is still twitching alive,
you're most likely dead.
I have to go pay for your damn bills to go get checked out, to go get administered these IV things.
Yeah.
I had to donate my own blood to get put into your dumb body.
Still, but the whole point is the seatbelt itself.
Yeah, but that's your point.
Yes.
But it does impact everyone else.
But we all choose to live in Canada. You could move to America and get insurance, so you don't, no taxes don't go
That's
to.
true. I think there should be a limit
It
on
is
the
true.
healthcare system in terms of like, you know.
But that's the thing.
Who?
It comes to
how?
So it just
Who's
comes
a
to
dumbass?
will. I'm just saying. You shouldn't.
Okay, deserve is a really big word. I shouldn't use that, but you know.
Yeah.
Qualifies.
But I just wanted to give my little
rant.
My rant of why I don't think you should be forced to wear a seatbelt. Because honestly, for some
people
guys,
are paying like thousands of dollars
your
in
insurance may go
money.
up. Insurance may go up.
Oh yeah.
Because 100%.
Yours will, yeah.
So.
But we're still paying for your dumbass.
Yeah. It's okay. You could move to America and not pay for my dumbass.
Okay.
I'm just saying, when it comes to free will, I'm big on free will. Yeah. You can do whatever you want, just don't complain about it. If I go head first out the window, either I'm dead, or I might as well just kill myself as I'm bleeding out.
Let me move to Bali.
Yeah, or Thailand, you know. But I don't know, that's just a fun idea I thought of, and like, I've been thinking about it just over the past like weeks, man, like, I really want to talk to a police officer about this, or talk to somebody, you know, like just go on the street and debate someone. Or you know how they have those debate stands? Be like, debate anything with me. I'll debate anything.
We talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, that'd be pretty fun. Debate me. Just anything. Even
I'd be a good mediator.
Even if I don't know the topic. It could be something just completely I know nothing about. I'll just bullshit it. I'll be like, fuck it, why not? It's just fun. It's so much fun. Out. Yeah, right?
Anyways,
is there anything
I think we should wrap this up for this episode. So we talked about Claude, AI businesses, addictions, you know, even like the future, all encompassing there. Yeah, thank you very much
your will, being how strong you are, mental.
Free will.
Free will. I'm saying that God gave us Adam and Eve. This is where we are.
That's true. And well, look what Adam did. He fucked around and he found out.
Eve ate the apple, so there you go.
Okay, you know what? That's another debate topic. We're going to talk about this next time. Anyways.
All right.
Take care.